Welcome back,
Hello,
everybody.
everyone.
Hey, sister girl. Have
Hey,
you ever
sister
found yourself
girl.
reaching for a snack, not because you're hungry, but because life is just too much? Emotional eating is something many of us know too well, especially as women juggling countless roles. But what if I told you there's a way to break that cycle, find true nourishment, and feel in control again? Today, we're diving into how the carnivore diet can be a game changer for overcoming emotional eating and reclaiming your peace. So, stay with us, like this video, share it out. Somebody else needs to know how to deal with emotional eating, and make sure that you follow us on whatever channel you're watching on. You do not want to miss this show.
You do not want to miss this show. Welcome to another empowering episode of Hey, Sister Girl. Robin and I are so grateful you've joined us today as we continue to journey our health. Oh, my goodness. So, we want to journey our health and healing all with this sisterhood. Um, about the last week's premiere, we were blown away at some of your responses and the excitement around what we are trying to create in this space for women of color first, and where we can focus on taking care of ourselves and our families.
All right. So absolutely, G. You know that we've been going through some trying times here. We're feeling a lot of uncertainty and stress in our lives. And so we know that it's time for us to step up and help our sisters through this time, starting with the most important person in your life. Guess who that is?
That's
That
right.
is you. So, this is what this show is all about, putting yourself first so that you can prioritize and pour into the ones that you love.
So today we're going to dive into something so many of us struggle with: emotional eating. Raise your hand. The ones far in the back. All right. Let's be real. Sister girl, how often do we reach for a snack to cope with stress, or just being overwhelmed? It's a vicious cycle, but we're here to break it and help you find the true nourishment and mind, body, and soul. So pull up a chair and let's get started. This reminds me of so many messages that I received. So go right ahead. Uh, let's get an understanding of emotional eating. Let's start with that. I got some things jotted down because I don't want to miss it. Um, let's unpack what emotional eating really is. Hey, Tara, emotional eating happens when we use food to deal with feelings instead of physical hunger. I'm going to say that again for the people in the back. And plus, I'm on a cruise ship. Y'all might not be able to hear me. So let me say that part again. Emotional eating happens when we use food to deal with feelings instead of the physical hunger. It might be stress, it might be boredom, or even celebrations that drive us to eat, not actual hunger. So let's talk about some common triggers: stress and anxiety from work, relationships, or life challenges. You have social pressures like events centered around food. Come on, Thanksgiving. Come on, Christmas. Come on, New Year's Eve. Okay, but New Year's Day, we need our black eyed peas. Come on now. All
Yep.
right, we have cultural expectations where food becomes comfort in time of struggle. We know if something happens in our families that the message is going out, we're getting ready to cook up food, make sure that the families have it. Food surrounds so many things and can tie into your emotion. So for many women of color, these pressures hit harder, leading to weight gain, guilt, and even chronic health problems like diabetes and high blood pressure.
Absolutely, 100%. As you were talking about that, very first thing you said about eating food instead of dealing with our emotions, and so that is kind of what we're talking about today. So there are some ways that we can break this cycle. But first of all, I want to tell you about our membership community, you guys. We want to tell you that you do not have to navigate this alone. Our Hey Sister Girl membership community is designed to offer daily support. We're there every single day, 24 by 7. We have real talk, we got advice, we got encouragement every single day. So consider joining us to build resilience and reclaim our control together. So here's how the carnivore diet can help you break this cycle. One thing that you have to understand is that imbalance in your blood sugar can cause you to have these cravings, right? So when your blood sugar is unstable, it can fuel you to eat emotionally. I was looking at for this video today. I don't know if you guys remember this commercial that came out where the guys were all out on the football field and they were practicing, and Betty White was out there and she was cranky. She wasn't able to function. And they gave Betty a Snickers bar and she turned back into a football player. So, that is like he was not able to deal with his emotions because he was feeling unstable blood sugars.
Yeah, and we call it hangry.
Hangry. Yeah, he was hangry. Yeah. That was such a funny commercial, but that really is what happens, is that when your blood sugars are unstable, you will be and get hangry. So emotional eating.
And add to it, Robyn, and the commercial is right. Go ahead. That Snicker bar would have hit that spot. That was probably a really true commercial. You will get hangry again.
You will get hangry again and turn back from a regular teenage football player back into Betty White. So that was hilarious. That was hilarious to me. Emotional eating often starts with energy crashes due to blood sugar spikes and dips. So when you consume carbs, so just like that Snickers bar was hitting the spot for the moment, but those energy spikes, your body quickly converts that carbs to glucose. And that leads to a spike in blood sugar. So a blood sugar spike is anything over like 30 points increase in your blood glucose. And then there's an insulin surge that comes along behind that. That causes a dramatic drop. If you're insulin sensitive, so the insulin is working really hard to drive that sugar down, because you can only have like 1 teaspoon of sugar in your blood, period. And so your insulin has to work really hard to drop it down. That blood sugar spike and then crash leaves you feeling tired, irritable, and craving another hit. They call it a hit. Craving another hit of sugar.
I used to be, and I was like, say, look, give me that Dr. Pepper. Go ahead, put it in my veins. I've done that. I've made that gesture before.
Absolutely.
Just foolish.
Right. So carnivore diet can help because it eliminates those processed carbs and sugars. So those are the main things that we're eliminating when we move onto a carnivore. Even ketovore or keto diets, we're eliminating most of those processed carbs and sugars. And those are the primary culprits in that blood sugar instability. Yeah. So a diet based on meat and fat provides a steady energy source as your body converts from being a sugar burner to a fat burner. Fat is a very stable source of energy. And so we're relying on our body metabolizing that fat for energy. So we don't really get those sugar crashes and reach for a comfort snack. Okay. So, so Betty White was that commercial about with Betty White, and it was correct, because you get hangry, then you got to have a sugar, that cycle just keeps going around and around. All right. So the other thing is that with a carnivore or meat-based way of eating, there's an increased level of satiety and reduced cravings. So the carnivore diet just keeps you satisfied. And I've talked to many people on this way of eating and found that the general consensus is that you're less hungry on a carnivore way of eating. You're able to basically intermittent fast for longer periods of time because your hunger, you're satiated. So emotional eating often stems from both physical and physiological hunger. So many diets leave you undernourished, causing your body to seek a quick fix foods. Meat is nutrient dense, it's rich in essential vitamins and minerals, and fulfills your body's needs. High quality protein also stimulates hormones. So there was two hormones that I want to mention. One
Mm-hmm.
is CCK, which is cholecystokinin, and the other is PYY, which is peptoid YY. And these are hunger and satiety signalers.
Mm-hmm.
So CCK, which is cholecystokinin, is a hormone released in the small intestine in response to eating, particularly when you consume protein and fat. It signals the brain to reduce hunger by actively activating your satiety centers, slows down the emptying of the stomach, and stimulates the release of digestive enzymes from the pancreas and bile from the gallbladder. And G talks about all the time what that gallbladder is there to do
There
is to
you go. Secrete.
sprinkle bile on top of the fat. We are meant to eat fat, and that is what that gallbladder does. And
Yep.
that process, yep, go ahead.
No, I'm in agreement. Yes.
Yeah, the process helps you feel full and satisfied after eating. And then peptide YY is another hormone which is secreted by cells in the lower small intestine and colon in response to eating, especially meals rich in protein and fat. It works by slowing down gut motility, reducing appetite, and increasing the feeling of fullness. So PPYY also communicates with the brain to regulate hunger and food intake. So these hormones are naturally stimulated by the high fat, high protein nature of the carnivore diet, and it makes it easier to control your hunger and reduce the likelihood of emotional or mindless eating. So oftentimes when you go on even keto,
Mm-hmm.
you will find that you do not need to snack. I very rarely snack. What about you, G? Do you snack very often?
No. As a matter of fact,
Very
I'm
rarely.
almost tired. Sometimes I really get tired of eating. I have to say, wait a minute, I didn't take, if nothing else, I have to take in some fat.
Mm-hmm.
That'll end up being my thing. But the way I used to think of food, and like I said earlier in the show, I'm on a cruise ship. Do y'all know how much food is on this ship? And when I say to you, I can walk in, I can stand there because I know the pain that brought to me. I don't even
Mm-hmm.
think of it like that. Oh, but let them have some fresh steak or something like that. It's truly like you're a carnivore. You gravitate to that. They this um the ship has been wonderful with my food.
That's awesome.
Yes,
Yeah,
I have zero complaints. None. Nada. It's been great. It really has. Go
that's
ahead.
fantastic. So the other thing is that habits, right? So when you would normally drive home, stop at the store, grab a bag of chips and a pop, you need to break the loop of the habit. So emotional eating is often tied to a conditioned habit, something that we always do. You know, I always eat popcorn at the movies. I struggled with that when I first went on carnivore because I always ate a big old giant tub of popcorn at the movies. And so now I no longer can do it. And that was a conditioning thing that I had to break. So emotional eating
Well,
is
let me say,
rarely.
when I went to the movie, I went one time, and you you guys know when you smell that fresh butter popcorn, it didn't smell the same to me.
Mhm.
It really didn't, and I'm not saying that it smelled bad, but it I didn't want to do, and then the smell lingered for so long because your senses, I don't know about you, but my senses are heightened. The kids are like, how did you even smell that? I want to say I'm a carnivore, honey. These senses, I look like the little lion. My nose, I'm smell from over in the next room, and
Right.
yeah. So I don't even like going to the movies anymore. I can't stand the smell.
Wow. Yeah, I go a lot less these
Mm-hmm.
days. And yeah, the smells are quite something.
Mm-hmm.
Emotional eating is rarely about hunger. Hunger, it's a loop. So it's a trigger, action, reward loop. So you have a trigger. Your trigger is I'm sad or I'm stressed out. And then your action is I want a honey bun. I'm going to have a honey bun because I'm stressed out. And that gives you a momentary distraction or a mood boost, a reward. So over time, the brain reinforces this loop as your go-to coping mechanism. So carnivore diet again eliminates those trigger foods. So it's super high palatable. It's designed to keep you coming back for more. So if you think about a honey bun, and nobody's gonna be satisfied with one honey bun in a week. You're gonna want a honey bun every day. Chips, potato chips. Can you eat just one potato chip out of the bag? Like it will take a very rare person that can do that. You're going to want to eat the whole bag. So you'll have fewer cravings, a more balanced mood, of course, thanks to that steady blood sugar. And then those triggers can lose their power. I have to say, though, recently, I have struggled with a little bit of emotional eating because I've had some emotional moments in the last few weeks, and so some of the things that I used to fall on or use to be able to deal with those, I see that those coping mechanisms are still, they're still under the surface. So, and I've been on
Mm-hmm.
carnivore for almost
2
2 years.
years, I
I
know.
really feel like it takes a long time. You think about brain rewiring. How long would it take for your brain to actually be rewired from some of those habits and coping mechanisms that you have developed? So, but your brain can be rewired, and you can break free from automatic response of turning to food for comfort. That's one thing I can say is whenever I'm making a choice, I'm literally able to make a choice. Whereas in
Mhm.
the past, the food or the emotion or the trigger was controlling me. Now I'm basically making a choice to do something. So
Yeah.
that definitely helps me. I want to recommend Dr. Georgia Eads' book, which is called "Change Your Diet, Change Your Mind," and it has to do with all of those mental things that we deal with around food and eating. So I'm just going to put that link in the chat for you guys.
Okay. All right. Well, look, let's do some strategies to tackle some of our emotional eating. I'm going to read from my notes. The strategies that I'm going to give you will pretty much talk about how the carnivore diet can help. Okay. So, mindful eating, slow down and truly savor your meals. Let's be honest. Some of us, with our work schedules, everything that we have going on, we turn around and eat. We eat in a car on the way to the next thing. This show we're putting together is the goal is for you to understand, put you first. Because if you're no longer here, that thing that you think they can't do only through you will either get done or it won't. But don't take yourself out with all of the stress. No, come on, sis. We got to do better. So, pay attention to your hunger and be mindful on the cues. Is this really hunger right now? Go drink some water. Am I really hungry? Is this an emotion that I'm trying to bypass? I want to eat this instead of dealing with that. Really? Okay, so some non-food coping mechanisms when stress hits. Try journaling, meditation, or calling a friend instead of heading to the fridge. Now, I have a group. We're on the, well, I'm going to talk about our group later, but Marco Polo itself, there have been times, even with Robyn, that I, maybe you want to make that call, or I'll use me. Maybe I want to call Robyn, but right now, Robyn really doesn't have time to be on the phone, but I still need to talk. So this program actually enables me to speak to Robyn. Robyn gets to see me. Robyn gets to, if there's an emotion, if there's a laugh, if there's a picture, if there's anything, I get to have that conversation. And then when Robyn has time, Robyn can then go and listen and see, feel the emotions, understand. And then, y'all, let me just tell you, after I talk with Robyn, her message is always, "Oh, I'm so sorry you feel that way." She's so compassionate, y'all. And and then because I know it's coming when she says it puts a big old smile on my face. But she is part of my village, my circle. She helps me refill. And look, and hopefully I'm doing that with her. But wait a minute, some quick carnivore meals. Keep it simple. Okay, I'm on the road. I had bacon. I boiled me some eggs. I do the little burger patties, and then I do ground beef jerky. So I purchased the roll of the ground beef. So let's say this is the diameter of it, and it could be long. I put that right in that meat slicer, frozen. Go back and forth. I get those thin slices. I put them in the dehydrator. I had that on the road coming down. So between the water and stuff, we didn't even have to stop. And then let me just say this time uh, in our nation is a little stressful. So because I didn't need to stop as often, which prevented unnecessary interactions. Because traveling south, everything is not always friendly. And
Mm.
then I just stayed in the car and didn't have to worry about anything. But y'all, let me tell y'all, that same Marco Polo, we have a Marco Polo group. Okay, our membership is all about sharing ideas like these, walking this journey with you. Join us for daily tips. We on there, we show meals that we have, we talk ingredients, we do all of that. It's an encouragement from women just like you. So the link is in the description for Robyn or myself that you go there and join the group. It is $19.99. You have to click on the Hey Sister Girl group. Um, building a support
It's not.
system.
It's not. Hey, sister
Robyn,
girl,
tell
on
us
my group.
about it.
It's carnivore life. Mine is carnivore lifestyle. Sorry.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. That's all right. That's all right. Yeah, but listen.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about building a support system.
So this is what we're talking about. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, this is what it's all about. I see that that you guys are here. First of all, I'd like to know, do you deal with at all any emotional eating challenges? And if so, what are your coping mechanisms? How are you dealing with that? Having, just like what G was saying, having somebody that you can call
Mm-hmm.
or that you can speak to. I like Marco Polo because I can go and watch that when I have time to watch it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I still get the same message as if I talk to her back and forth. And then I say what I got to say. She come back a couple hours later and listen to what I say. I
Yeah,
guess I
yeah.
always say
I
the
love
same
it. I
thing.
love it. Yeah.
But building community is so important, and I know that for me it can be challenging because a lot of times when you're on a journey, you're on a weight loss journey, you're on a health journey. particularly in the carnivore community, there's not a lot of people that are doing this yet. And in fact, there's people who are going to tell you that you're crazy. They're going to look at you like you got two or three heads. And so having a community of people who are doing the same thing that you're doing
Mm-hmm.
is really, really important. And so I know, you know, a lot of us watch YouTube channels. Those are community, but this right here is what we're doing is building community. So that's why we're here today to talk about emotional eating, because we want to make sure that our sister girls are being helped, are being thinking about this and talking about it. And so there I can't under value the importance of community. Community is a huge, huge piece of what you need to have. So connecting with like-minded women strengthens your journey. It makes it easier for you to make those choices. So you think about going into these holidays and how challenging that is. And we're here to tell you, okay, sister girl, what is your plan to get back on track after the holidays? If you're planning on having an entertainment meal on Thanksgiving, what's your plan for Friday to get back on track? Are you going to leave all that food inside your house? I wouldn't.
I know, but and let me throw this out there because I don't think she online to hear it. I told you I was on a cruise ship. My granddaughter uh, has been carnivore probably the last 4 months, could be even 5. And so when she got off the plane, it was so noticeable. When she started this, I think she was a 165, and right now she is like, I think she might be smaller than me now because I think I think she's like 144, something, 143, 144. And I was like, what? Oh my goodness. But temptations set in. And you guys, I said, I'm not on here to remind you how to eat because you won't always be in my presence.
Right.
So I said, this is your vacation. Do what you want to do. Well, that first night, baby, she has, let me see, that first 24 hours, I know I saw rice on her plate, and then she got a beef that had some kind of sauce on it. She had an ice cream cone. Hold up. She had, she, she had, wait. Oh, a slice of cake.
Mm.
Um, oh, it was some more stuff. I said absolutely nothing. Now, today, she thought she was seasick. She's like, I think I'm seasick because I got the room. She couldn't get off the toilet. She literally sat there for over an hour. And I said,
Poor
no,
baby.
baby, let me tell you what this is. This is your body spitting back out the poison because you just shocked it so bad. Okay, anybody, if you're watching this now, later, a year from now, if you ever smoked a cigarette, the very first time you tried to smoke a cigarette, sneak, you coughed. I mean, like profusely, everybody kind of laughed. Well, let me tell you what the cough was. Your body immediately realized poison and got rid of it. Your body is designed to take care of itself. If somebody turn around and do this right here with a rubber band, you like, stop. Just at the thought, your body's going to protect itself.
Mm-hmm.
Her body was in the middle of protecting itself. It tried to get that out of her so fast. I said, sweetie, I'm going to be honest. I didn't even think about it was going to do that to her. It didn't even cross my mind. I didn't. It was like, the worst I said is that by the end of the week, she might not be able to fit her clothes she brought. Because I know when you start eating like that, the weight will
Weight
come
comes
on.
on very fast.
But she's young. She's 17. So I'm like, okay, she gonna eat. Her body, it's like, she's like, she threw up. It was like it was get out. Yeah, so for those that are carnivore and this is your season, you don't know how the comeback is going to be. You really just don't know. I want to add one more thing, Robin. I wrote a little note down when we were talking about the Marco Polo group. One of the things that I want to openly say is I love the fact that you get to speak uninterrupted. See, that's another thing. You even on the show, you know, you have ideas, you have these different things. But on that Marco Polo, those are your moments. You speak them and no one interrupts you. And so then of course the replies and stuff like comes in. And that's one of the things. You are truly heard. We listen to you. We don't cut you off. We listen. And that's another great thing about that.
Absolutely.
And in this sisterhood, we need that and more. So that's
Totally
all I'm gonna
agree.
say.
Yeah. So we know that building community and finding your tribe is so
Mm-hmm.
critically important to your success in this or really any journey that you're trying
That's
to
right.
take. So we are here to support you. As G is talking about our Marco Polo group, it is really, really powerful.
Yes,
And it gives you, I love what you just said about being, I hadn't really thought about the
I
fact that
know.
many times, if I think about the meetings that I sit in, many times you're being interrupted in conversation and you're trying to say something and somebody's got an idea and they just chime in right over you. And the fact that you get to go ahead and you got to say, get to say what you want to say without being
Yes,
interrupted. That's really nice. So I hadn't really
yes,
thought about it that way, but yeah, the Marco Polo
yeah.
group is awesome. The community is awesome. We really want to build this show up and encourage women. We're talking about a single topic today, but we're going to talk about many, many topics over the course of the next however long this show is going to
Wait,
be.
listen. Give out a couple of teasers. Give out a couple of teasers. We will have guests on.
Yes, we're going to have
I'm
some
loving
guest
it. We're
panelists coming.
bringing it. Mind, body, and
Yes,
spirit. Yeah, we are bringing it, and I am loving it.
yes. Let's see. Yeah, so Helen is talking about the same thing that happened to her with a half a cup of pioli, Mexican soup, and I ate it Saturday at my friend's birthday. I'm so afraid to try because particularly foods, I have so many sensitivities. It's like
Yeah,
I don't want to be constipated.
yeah,
Or I don't
yeah.
want to deal with the opposite of constipation either. So it's like I'm not willing to try it. I'm gonna be for me. If you think about the holidays that are coming up, my plan is to make sure that I have enough meat there that I don't be tempted by any of the other stuff. Also, I am gonna make Chris Cookie Nashville's carnivore stuffing. So that's something that I'll make and I'll be able to eat it because it's carnivore. So that's something that will be different
Okay,
and
so
fun for the
give
holiday.
me give us a few of the ingredients. What are some of the ingredients of of that? Because I really
So,
tried to put some stuff together, but then cornbread and rice kept popping in my head.
oh
Oh,
no.
I know, I know. I'm like, so, woo, what is this? Go ahead.
So it is made with a white bread substitute, a carnivore white bread.
Hmm.
And so I have a recipe in there that has that's the carnivore white bread and Chris Cooking Nashville. There's a lot of different carnivore white breads out there. And I used to do one that was by Indigo Neely. And I haven't had it in quite some time, but he has made one that is, and I'll be definitely doing a video about it. That is a white bread, and he said his wife said that bread tasted like regular white bread. So that was exciting. So it will have that. It will have some pork rinds. I'm going to put some sausage, some sage sausage in there, which I didn't use to, I mean, I didn't use sausage in my stuffing or my dressing when I made it before, but since I don't have to make that, I can put meat in my stuffing and I will enjoy that. It's going to have like chicken broth
Mhm.
and some spices. So if you can tolerate spices, some people can't tolerate them. So I will
Listen,
have some like sage because like I can't imagine eating dressing without no sage in it because that's not right.
listen, and look. Tara said, make sure you come on Marco Polo when you make it. So that's what I'm saying. In the Marco Polo group, we get to see these things before we get a chance to record for YouTube, put it on a TikTok. We
Yep,
see it first. It's like,
exactly.
and I love it. And then Helen says, no matter how small the cheat is, it moves me back into my old pain-filled body,
Yep.
and that's mine. My it was barbecue sauce, and it wasn't even a
Mm.
lot of barbecue sauce. The pain level that I received uh within not even a good 8 hours, and it lasted about 2 days. I'm
Wow,
like, that's not worth it.
not worth it. Yep.
No one cooks that good.
Yeah,
No.
mine is my skin. Like my skin just starts blistering. It's so awful. It's like you know, it's really almost not worth anything to have my skin blister up like that. It really, really is not worth it. So I leave alone all that stuff. I'm not planning on having those veggies and stuff. Normally, when I cook my dressing, it would be celery and onion and bell pepper in there. I'm not going to probably do that. I might do a little bit like that for my husband, but for myself, I won't do all that. But I'll use a little bit of onion powder because I can use onion, and onion is fine for me. Um, but it's not going to be exactly the same, but it'll give me that Thanksgiving vibe. So I will definitely post a video up about how I'm doing that and how I'm making that little stuffing.
Okay, I'll watch the video, but I think that, for those that don't know, I was a vegan for 4.5 years, and I kept finding myself trying to mimic stuff. And I just said, that crap for me. Now, I believe your dressing, Robin, is going to taste just like Big Mama dressing. So not the dressing that you're making. I'm talking about the things that I did, and that I threw away so much food because it's like, oh,
Don't
it
taste
just did.
good.
No, it didn't. So I guess
Well,
my
my stuff
thing
is gonna
is,
be the
don't
jam.
call
It's
it
gonna be good.
dressing. I think that if you found, I don't know. I think that's my issue. When you give it a name, I know what that's supposed to taste like.
Yeah.
And if you turn around and try and substitute that, it's like, listen, no, let's call this something else. Yeah, stop that, I
Yeah.
say. Just stop it. That is not of God. So,
Yeah. So I call my stuff the dish that I used to make, my daughter makes it now. It's called dressing.
mhm.
Turkey and dressing. So this stuff that I'm gonna make is gonna be like stuffing.
Right. And that's another, yeah, there you go. Dressing is with cornbread. Stuffing is loaf bread. I don't know the bread.
With croutons, yeah. So
Oh, I don't see.
which is what I'm
Yeah,
gonna be
I'm a
doing.
texture person. See, I'm a texture person. So I'm already like, eh. But that's
It's gonna be
okay.
good.
We'll see it right away. Well, we would like to say thank everyone for tuning in. I
Yeah.
kid you not, we enjoyed it. Meet us back here. Look, same
Oh,
bat
wait.
channel.
Let me tell you guys, we have a
Oh,
guest
what?
panelist next week. We have
Yep.
a guest panelist. Her name is Denitra, and she is a metabolic health coach, and she will be
Hmm.
our first guest panelist on the show. So we're really looking forward to having an opportunity to speak with her and pick her brain on metabolic health. And that will be next Monday night at 7 o'clock.
That's it. Yes. See you guys there.
Bye, everybody.